Hey guys, this is Camry15 and I'm back at it with another video for you guys. And man, it's the third video I made today. Jesus, and they're all getting uploaded today. But anyways, Camry15 back at it with you guys with another video, and I'm here to talk about, yes, I'm finally going to be doing My Hero Academia chapter reviews, because now that I caught up with the manga, I might as well just keep reading the manga, because I just caught up the manga in preparation for the movie. I used to be an anime only, but now I go along with the manga, and yeah. But anyways, we're here for My Hero Academia chapter 257. The review. If we last where we last recalled off, the last few panels was really All Might, Bakugo, and Deku having their little discussions, talking about the users, and essentially, you know, All Might says he's got some things from the previous, learned some things from the previous users. So this episode, not this episode, this chapter was a very interesting chapter. Like really interesting chapter. So, anyways, the chapter starts off with All Might basically saying he got all the information about the previous users of One for All, essentially down and stuff like that for the best of his abilities. He did state that he didn't find any leads on the second and the third users, because at the time, that's really because no one knew nothing about them in the record, because of the air and stuff like that. But anyways, we do get the confirmation of the Black Whip quirk guy. And his hero name was Lariat, but his real name was Daigoro Banjo, and as we know, his quirk is the Black Whip quirk. So we do get the revelation about him and stuff like that. And, an interesting thing, is Bakugo points out a point saying all these people, all these users didn't really have powerful quirks, because one, he never heard of these guys, and Deku, he says, well, it's not, they may not be strong, but you shouldn't say like that. They look like they have some pretty cool quirks. But even All Might sides for Bakugo and saying like, no, he isn't wrong. They didn't have some of the best quirks. And mostly, it's because he said All for One was obsessed with basically killing heroes who were very powerful. So they couldn't challenge him, essentially. And yeah, and basically he does talk about how basically all the users made sure all One for All was always passed down to the future. And essentially he also states like they weren't really chosen ones. Like it's looking more like Deku is like, say, the Anakin Skywalker from the aspect of not turning, but he is the chosen one to essentially, like, I guess, save the world and stuff like that. And he basically talks about like how they always pass it down just for the next user to basically enhance the quirk and make it better. But another interesting tidbit we find out is all the previous users of One for all end up dying at a very young age. So I would probably say like they're, Jesus, late 20s, maybe even early to mid 30s, which is really young, especially when you look at today. That's like, Jesus, that's almost like the new 16 around that age, to be honest. I just turned like 21 like 2 months ago and stuff like that. So it's insane to think that these people with, users of One for All, they died early. You would think they would have these powers for a long, long time, which also you could say hints at the possible All Might death. We don't know how old All Might is. I don't believe they released his age. I'll have to look at that up. But you know, like it's very interesting to see where that, thing goes and stuff like that. But yeah, the next big revelation we get, and this is huge, huge. The next power, or the next quirk Deku will get in tandem with his One for All is he will get All Might's master, Nana Shimura's quirk powers next. and her power is the ability to float. And, you know, that was a huge revelation, which goes to show that Deku is now going to get Nana Shimura's quirk. So, are we now going to see, you know, dream sequences with Nana Shimura and Deku? Because as we remember from the previous chapter, Deku did, I guess, have an infatuation with um, All Might's old master. Not to say that anybody else won it. Let's be real, she was hot. They do show a great scene, and it's funny because we actually do see Jesus. No wonder why freaking Deku said that, because she's freaking thick. But anyways, next is the power. Next is her power that Deku will be getting, and it's funny because Bakugo is making a funny scene. He's like, "I win." Guess what? You're gonna have to teach yourself how to float all this time. Well, me, I know how to do that pretty easy, and I'm not helping you. And I found it so funny because it's like Deku is gonna be like, well, shoot, this idiot, and All Might's like, are you serious? Come on, these fools, you stop this stuff. And it's funny because you see, and the last two panels of Bakugo and Deku talking is basically them just doing their funny thing, and then it cuts to All Might, and he's just like, he's just smiling because I think he knows those two will be the top two heroes when Deku will be the top hero, but you know, Bakugo will be right behind him. And it's crazy to think that, you know, and even Deku mentions it later on and stuff like that, but it's crazy to think that these two, Bakugo did not like Deku at all. He still somewhat doesn't like him, but he has more of a respect for him. That's the thing. It's like Goku and Vegeta. You know, they may not like each other like buddy buddy, even as much as the next guy, but one, they kind of, you know, don't hate each other to the point like they used to. And to be honest, they've grown together as pretty good friends. They're friends. I would say they're friends. You know, they may go back and forth at each other, but and especially Bakugo at Deku. But you know, I think that Bakugo has the respect to be like, you know what, regardless of the fact, I guess you're my friend, as much as I don't want to admit it. Like I said, Bakugo and Deku literally is, I guess their relationships are not on par, but it's somewhat similar to how Goku and Vegeta's, you know, relationship was. It just took them moments of being together to make them be like, all right, we get to the point we just deal with each other, and we may annoy each other, but it's whatever. You know, Vegeta, Kakarot annoys the hell out of me, but I don't care. He's the next best guy I know we gotta do. But anyways, we cut back to Class 1A in the dorms and what they're doing, and basically they're just making dinner and stuff like that. And they have one huge dinner where they say Class 1B is coming over, which I do like the fact that, you know, Class 1B and Class 1A, they're being more, you know, connecting together, you know. It is interesting to see. And essentially, like I said, they're eating, and essentially, like I said, you know, Deku does make a nice little mention. He's like, he actually recalls and thinks back to certain things. And he really, you know, this goes to show, and I think this is good character development for Deku too, because, and this actually kind of hits you because, you know, it hits me now because you're like, you know, this used to be a quirkless kid, and all he wanted to do was be a hero and save people. He saved a little girl, Eri. You know, he made her smile. And he's at UA. And when you think about it, he really has come a long way. You know, and that really ties into like, because because Class 1A was really talking about you know, them becoming second years. And you know, when Deku puts out in his mind, he's like, wow, I'm about to be a second year at UA. And essentially he's like, you know, he's saying all this thing. He's like, you know, I never imagined having All Might, you know, look out for me like he was my father. You know, me and Bakugo were having actual normal conversations with one another and stuff like that. What I did find funny is Tokoyami was like, Midori, can you please pass the sauce, please? And Midori's up in his own head. And then he just realized, and then, you know, the one thing I do like of Deku is, you know, he realizes a lot he's been given is not what most people would be given. And he says it like how blessed he is. And, you know, he takes back on stuff. And that's another real life element about My Hero Academia, because some people, you know, they don't realize how really blessed they are to be put in positions that they are. Jeez, look at me. I'm in college. You know, some people don't get that chance to even go to college. And you know, I really do like that side of Deku to where he, you know, he's not so, you know, envious and, you know, he's like, yeah, I got one for all. I got a quirk. I'm so happy I got a quirk. He actually, you know, rectifies and thinks back and he's like, you know what? I'm actually pretty blessed to have this power because, you know, Mirio Togata could have had this. Bakugo could have had this. Todoroki could have had this power of one for all. And I could have just been some kid going to a regular high school. But I'm here at UA for, you know, because I got so far. I did find it funny because Tokoyama gives him the look like, literally, dude, Midori, I told you to pass the sauce. And Deku's like, okay, I'm sorry. But anyways, we get an interesting scene that literally kind of rounds out and ends the chapter is Aizawa talks to All Might, and basically All Might tells Aizawa, he's like, I feel like I don't really essentially do much. I'm like, it sucks not being a hero, going out saving people, and feeling like I can't do anything to help the kids in anything. But Aizawa gives him a good, you know, gives All Might a good word. And he's basically like, what are you talking about? You can do a lot of them. Like, I know it's hard that you've been protecting the world for literal decades. But, you know, you can do plenty for these kids. You know, you're still, you know, an idol to them. You know, and Aizawa says, like, you can live, like, the way you can do plenty much is by living, essentially. Again, which is another hint of the eventual possible death of All Might. So, you know, yeah, and basically Aizawa tells him, look, just be the same dude you've always been. Like, don't change, essentially. And it looks like All Might is about to start crying and stuff like that. And, Aizawa basically, All Might asks Aizawa, why did you want to talk to me? Something like that. But this is also another big revelation. And essentially, and also, I forgot to mention, I'm not showing panels because I don't want to get copyright struck. Because if I show panels, I don't want this video being taken down. But anyways, essentially, you know, there was a message from Tsukaichi, and basically he said he wants All Might to delay seeing Stain. So why would All Might see Stain? No idea. Anyways, we get a time skip, and a time skip to the spring and March, because I forgot the last month, but it's March now, so there is a time skip. And eventually, we see that doctor again, you know, the one who's working on the high-end Nomus, and basically, you know, the narrator, which is Deku, basically essentially says, end of the month, that day, the heroes vanish from the city. And that's how the chapter ends off, and the chapter won't happen till next week, January 26th. So, what is going on here? I don't know. I can't wait to read the next chapter. And yeah, but Jesus, it is going to be interesting to see where this goes. Heroes vanishing from the city. I don't know what that means, but could the League be making their move now? So we're gonna see. We're going to see where this goes. This is a really good chapter. A really good chapter because we got a lot of key revelations. You know, Deku's next quirk being, you know, All Might's master's quirk. So obviously we're gonna see more dream sequences. You know, with her and Deku being probably telling Deku like, look, you know, here's my quirk. It's time to master it, and stuff like that. You know, stuff like that. You know, the revelation about, you know, delaying the, you know, meeting with Stain for All Might. Crazy things from My Hero Academia happening, and it's only going to get better. But anyways, I'm gonna get out of here. I'll see you guys on the 26th for chapter 258 review. But anyways, if you like this video, leave a like. If you want to hit the subscribe button to get more My Hero Academia content, whether it's, you know, some top 5 videos, anime episode reviews, or even starting now from this point on, the manga chapter reviews hit the subscribe button and you'll get your My Hero Academia content. As well as put in the comment section, what did you think of this chapter? You know, and really one of the other things, what do you think of Deku getting really essentially his master's quirk ability? That's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see the dream sequences of that, or whatever. Really essentially the dream sequence of it. That's what there really is. And then I guess another interesting tidbit before I end the video off. It's very interesting to see how some of these quirk powers from the previous users are some of Deku's classmates' quirks are somewhat similar quirks. Like, some people have been saying, like, Sero could help Deku, be able to use his Black Whip better, like how he uses his tape ability. The floating thing. There's many people to go off. Bakugo may not want to help him, but, there's another person that could help with the floating technique. Who is that? Oh, wait, who else is a person that can float? Ochako can float. And that could only lead to more romantic shipping scenes with them if she decides to train with him or he decides to ask for help. And I think that's what Deku might possibly do. Ask for help too, alongside trying to master the quirk himself, alongside having, some of his classmates who have similar quirks to whatever quirk he's going to get, eventually, he can go around the classmates. And I can see him starting to float, and he could ask, like, Ochako, can you help me how to float better and teach me how to float better and stuff like that. And that can lead to a whole bunch of moments between the two. I can't wait because I love their moments. But anyways, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to catch you guys on the next video, and I'll see you guys on the 26th for the next My Hero Academia chapter review. So till then, I'm going to get out of here. I'll see you guys on the next video. Peace.